Hi guys, welcome to the Savvy Money Show with me, your host Sean. Today we're filming this live. I wasn't planning on, but we are going to speak about the House passing the bill to delist Chinese companies. Now we can expect some of them to drop today and it could present a buying opportunity. But what does that say to us? Should we buy or should we go? Now, there's a couple of things you could do. You can stay away from foreign companies and just stick to your country. But then, as you know, that would stop you from all the gains. I got in at Neo at $3 a share, so I've 20x my money. So I have sold a majority of my position when it hit highs, and I can re-enter and it would be like a risk-free trade because my initial investment is already paid for. However, if I just wanted to take my profit and run, that would be fine as well. But I'd lose out on any future gains. But we're going to go through what is a way we can, if we don't want to stay away from the Chinese companies, what are the ways we can limit the risk? I said before, I don't think some of these companies that they're touting are going to be delisted, and I think it's mainly to get the share price down. And last time they did, I bought likes of Barber and a number of others as well. But anyway, we go. They're saying in the bill the auditors they use have to be PCAOB registered. So you can go to the investor relations page of the company you're looking at, go to the frequent asked questions tab, and it should have who is our auditor, and then you can type it into here under auditors. Now you will have an auditor search and you can put it in there. Now there is an issue here, because we could think to ourselves, oh well, we have Neo's using PricewaterhouseCoopers as a, and so quite a few people using PwC in China because they have a well-known name. But then you have to think to yourself, well, that didn't stop the accusations against Boohoo. Granted, the Boohoo accusations were unfounded, but still, it does seem like they're targeting China. Now, let's steer clear from PwC for a minute, because I have nothing against them. They are clearly a good auditor. But let's look at Luckin Coffee, who we all know was supposed to be bigger than Starbucks and the stock to own to get rich. And if you believe their numbers, that's what you'd have done. But the thing is, they had Ernst & Young as their auditors, who are also registered on PCAOB. So what went wrong there? Well, according to Ernst & Young, it wasn't the audit auditor's fault because they hadn't audited that year's accounts at that time. And firstly, it is down to an auditor not only to add up the numbers, because anyone could do that, I could do that. It's down to an auditor to sign off and determine that those numbers are true. And they were blaming lying from the staff. Now, I get it's made more difficult if the staff are lying, if they're cooking the books, but there's a reason an auditor is paid so much to sign off, so that they can spot when someone is cooking the books. Now, as I said before, it was the Chinese who flagged up the fraud before it was picked up, and we've had fraud in American companies and UK companies, and they're saying it's to protect American investors. To me, it seems like a hit job when you are allowing reporters to do short reports, when you're allowing these analysts and reporters to do pump and dumps, clearly do pump and dumps on companies, and I won't name them, and then they say they want to protect American investors this way, when in fact they are not protecting them, they're making it harder for them. You will see with the SPACs, when they want to bring in new SPAC laws, it seems to me they don't, especially this year, more and more retail investors are finding ways to get at the table to make more money, and that seems to be something they don't like. They want the money, all the money for themselves. And what did they do? They brought in new SPAC laws. They tried to implement new SPAC laws, and they're still talking about it. And even with this, they realised a lot of Americans were investing in China. And I bet you if they ban all Chinese companies, you know what they will do? The top guys will set up an international trading company that is allowed to trade in China, and then will trade these companies. It's a simple thing to do, an expensive thing to do for them, but for the likes of us, it's a lot of hassle. Now, they do this thing to put stumbling blocks in our way, because we will think it's not worth going to all this trouble just to trade a share. Whereas for them, where they trade in millions, they will go to the trouble. They won't go to the trouble. They'll tell someone else to go to the trouble that they have on a payroll anyway. I know, because I know someone who used to do it for a living. Now, you might be invested in Neo or Baba. Now, the thing is, Baba isn't using the Western auditor. They're using the Hong Kong office, and we don't even know it's the same company. We don't have a rating for the Hong Kong company, so we don't know whether that will be covered under the same guidelines, but I expect it to be, and I expect them to be fine. I expect a pushback if they do start delisting within 3 years. Remember, you can still hold them for 3 years, and even after that you still get to hold them. It just means it will be harder to trade, but I will expect pushback from them on companies that trade in China or also dual list in China, and I would expect a pushback on the basis that they aren't implementing these checks on American companies on who their auditor is. And as I said, you got to remember, Boohoo doesn't even have an auditor at the moment. And I know it's not on a US stock exchange, it's on a UK one, but the fact that you can, in the UK, we can trade Boohoo, but and even in the US you can trade Boohoo, but you can't trade Chinese. They're risking delisting Chinese companies because of the order. It just seems funny. Don't forget to like and comment in the box below. Helps get the video out to more people, and I'll see you in the next video. That's all for now.